Apple Watch, 6 features that could save your life. Besides staying on top of your notifications and tracking your fitness levels, you can use the Apple Watch to save your life with these features. The Apple Watch is not just a trendy wearable device that lets you check the time, track your fitness, and make calls. Since its official release in 2015, Apple has packed several features into the Apple Watch, including potentially life-saving ones. This means strapping your favorite tech accessory to your wrist could alert you to severe health conditions, help you in an emergency, and save your life. This video will cover some of the most impressive life-saving features available on the Apple Watch. The Apple Watch isn't just a fashion statement. When you take a moment to appreciate the Apple Watch's life-saving features, it's hard to argue that it is anything but an excellent device to strap to your wrist. Sure, it might be a bit pricey, but considering how it can keep you safe, it is definitely worth the investment. Number 6. Emergency SOS. You would hope you never have to use this feature, but it's good to know that it's there and, more importantly, how to use it, as it can save your life. If you are in a life-threatening situation, you can call emergency services in your area by holding the side button on your Apple Watch. This will bring up the emergency SOS slider. You can either slide the emergency SOS slider or continue holding down the side button to count down from 5. Your Apple Watch will also send your current location to your emergency contacts when you do this. Number 5. Blood oxygen. You need oxygen to function properly, and your blood plays a vital role in delivering oxygen to all the organs in your body. Your blood oxygen level measures how much oxygen is circulating in your blood, and most people have a blood oxygen level of 95 to 100%. Low oxygen saturation can be indicative of a severe health condition, such as heart or lung disease. This is why monitoring your blood oxygen level or oxygen saturation is important. Thankfully, your Apple Watch can measure your blood oxygen level. If you have an Apple Watch Series 6 or later on your wrist, you can check your blood oxygen level by opening the Blood Oxygen app. Rest your arm on a flat surface and ensure your wearable is snug but not too tight on your wrist. After 15 seconds, you will have your blood oxygen levels. Number 4. Crash detection. You will undoubtedly drive more confidently with an Apple Watch Series 8 or Apple Watch Ultra on your wrist. These models have a built-in feature called crash detection, which uses the watch's sensors to detect when you have been in a severe car accident. This life-saving feature alone is probably worth upgrading to the latest Apple Watch models. If you were involved in a severe car accident, your Apple Watch will sound an alarm and display an emergency call slider. If conscious, you can slide the emergency call slider or cancel the call. And if you are unresponsive for 10 seconds, your Apple Watch will automatically call local emergency services and send your location to your emergency contacts. This feature is on by default for supported Apple Watch models, but you can disable it if you wish to. To do so on your iPhone, go to the Watch app, scroll down, tap Emergency SOS, and disable call after severe crash. Number 3. Fall detection. A simple activity like climbing a ladder to change a light bulb can become life-threatening if you fall and can't get up. Alternatively, you might suffer from a health condition that often causes frequent falls or loss of consciousness. In any case, you would want emergency services to be notified as soon as possible. Thankfully, if you are wearing an Apple Watch Series 4 or later, the built-in accelerometer and gyroscope can detect when you have fallen. If your watch detects that you have fallen, it will tap you on your wrist and sound an alarm while displaying an alert. If you are motionless after 60 seconds, your Apple Watch will contact local emergency services and send your location to your emergency contacts. This is why it is vital that you set up emergency contacts on your iPhone and turn on fall detection for your Apple Watch. To do this on your iPhone, go to the Watch app, scroll down, tap Emergency SOS, and enable fall detection. You can also add your emergency contacts on the same page. Number 2. ECG. Who knew your Apple Watch could alert you to a potentially deadly heart condition? The ECG app, available on the Apple Watch Series 4 and later, can do just that and help save your life. An electrocardiogram, ECG, measures the electrical activity of your heart to detect any irregularities. Medical doctors use this information to diagnose conditions like atrial fibrillation, a heart condition that causes irregular heartbeats. Your Apple Watch, Series 4 or later, has an electrical heart sensor that can take an ECG. The ECG app analyzes the data from this sensor to get your heart rate and check for any irregularities. It will notify you if it consistently detects an irregular heartbeat. If this happens, make sure to consult with your doctor as soon as possible. You can take an ECG on the Apple Watch by opening the ECG app, resting your arm on a flat surface, and holding your finger on the digital crown. You'll receive the results after 30 seconds. Number 1. Medical ID. Apple Watch screenshot showing medical ID. In the unfortunate event that you have an accident, it is crucial that first responders know your medical information. That's because you might not be able to communicate it yourself if you are unconscious or unable to speak. The medical ID feature on your iPhone and Apple Watch lets you input crucial medical information, such as your blood type, allergies, medical conditions, emergency contacts, and current medications, to name a few. This information is easily accessible on your Apple Watch, even if it is locked with a passcode. However, you will need to start by setting up Medical ID on your iPhone. Then you can view it on your Apple Watch by following these steps. Press and hold the side button below the crown. Slide the Medical ID toggle to the right to access your information. You can also edit this information on your Apple Watch by going to Settings, then Health, then Medical ID, then Edit Medical ID. On the same page, you might also want to allow access to your medical ID when your Apple Watch is locked by toggling on Show When Locked. If you are happy with our service, please do not forget to leave a nice comments, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you, and hope to see you again in our next video. This is your favorite channel, The Top Tech, rolling out.